Good morning. Good morning. I said good morning and welcome once again, beautiful people, to the new Blerd Order Blerdcast, baby. There's a lot of stuff going on right now in the world if you had not been paying attention. Today we have a lot to discuss. We've got a special guest if you're not reading the screen. Also, a couple things did occur this week if you're not in the know. Obviously, there was a Book of Boba Fett series finale that we want to discuss just a little bit, see what's going on there. And Peacemaker did present a nice little episode 7 with a few things revealed. But this morning, I am happy to announce to you guys that we are not alone, and I wanted to make sure that we all gave the proper introduction. First and foremost, good to see you guys. I'm Vince, as always, Blerd Man himself. Hallelujah. And we are joined by none other than Yazzie, the Blerd Queen Princess herself, the homie Steph Ray. Yes, she's got an eye for things. All right. And we've got Tyrone here in community background. We've also got Ty Leem here. All right. And just in case that wasn't enough for you guys, I want you all to please make way for somebody who we've admired from afar for quite some time. You have seen her on such things as, I don't know, Marvel Avengers Endgame, as you see me here, quick to rat out folks or necessarily put them in their place when they're not recognized. You've seen her in such things as Community, maybe even Big Shot, which is on as we speak and even being aired. And I want y'all to help me welcome to our platform for the first time and hopefully not the last, Miss Yvette Nicole Brown.
Hey, everybody. Definitely not the last. Definitely not the last.
Yes. What's going on, Miss Yvette Nicole Brown? It's you.
Yeah, listen, it's early, y'all. I just want to make sure everybody knows it's the crack of dawn in LA. And I said this before we got live, but I love my people. If y'all ever doubted whether I love black folk, the fact that I'm up with a lash at 10 a.m., I love my people. I showed up.
Amen. And the love is mutual. Well, listen, we are ecstatic that you're joining us this morning, Miss Brown, and we want to make sure we make the most of the time that we have with you, though it's so limited. So the reason why, if you're wondering, Miss Yvette Nicole Brown is joining us this morning is because we did what we call a Stephanie Ray question of the day not too long ago. And Stephanie's question actually was, if you could, actually, Stephanie, won't you tell us what was that question that you asked and what was your answer, if you could recall?
Sure. Based on the fact that the Book of Boba Fett is apparently based on a Star Wars character who had a very small part, but then had enough traction to get his own series, if you could choose any character with a small part in a major franchise to get their own series to be expanded upon, who would you choose and why? And my answer, didn't have to think twice about it, was Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., Phyllis Jenkins from Avengers Endgame, holding it down at Camp Lehigh, catching sketchy white guys in places they were not supposed to be. I've got an eye for this. I want the show. I need this series. I need her and Captain Carter like going around catching people doing stuff they are not supposed to, especially like white guys be in places they're not supposed to be with an absurd amount of confidence. And I need a black woman calling them out like, you are not supposed to be in this restricted area. I want to watch it every week. This, I've got the shirt in case you cannot read it. I've got an eye for this. Phyllis Jenkins, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., catching sketchy white men since 1970.
Steph, I need the shirt.
Yes, I got you. Don't worry. We can make that happen.
So listen, oh God, keep going, Steph.
I need this in my life. Like, please, whoever, do I need to change.org petition? Like, who's got it in with Kevin Feige? Like, essential. Black women need this.
This y'all need to understand why I'm laughing so very hard. Because if you watch Avengers Endgame and watch the credits, her name is not Phyllis Jenkins. Her name is S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. And I, black fool that I am, decided that her name should be Phyllis Jenkins. And the fact that it has stuck has delighted me more than anything else in my life. Like, I love that people think that woman's name is Phyllis Jenkins. She ain't got no name. I named her.
It's canon now. Yeah. Phyllis is my mom's name. She was like, oh, a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent named Phyllis? Oh, she's like me. I was like, yes, Mama, she's like us.
She looks like a freaking Phyllis.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
Oh, God. Listen, I think, first of all, Steph, thank you. And the love, it is mutual. I hope you know that for all of you. But the idea of her being in the 70s in that wig in that polyester solving crimes and catching sketchy white people just makes me so happy. I wish they would call me about it. Oh, just call me about it.
Look at her face right there. That was so good.
Ooh, Phyllis don't take no mess.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't. I can feel it. Should I go into my question, Vince? That's
yes,
like
please.
leading me into
that
it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just off top, like your representation for the culture, your nerd resume is extensive. For y'all who don't know, this woman has voiced Amanda Waller. She's voiced Okoye, like Black Lady Sketch Show, just all over, repping for Black people and nerd culture, which goes deep to my heart as a Howard grad, as a deep Marvel fan, just as someone who's so into this entire world. So I would love to learn more about your development of this character. Like Phyllis Jenkins, you came up with the name. She clearly has a strong persona about her. And as someone who will definitely be cosplaying her in the future, or as you have called it, cos-being, because as the host of a show about cosplay,
That's right.
You talked about how you don't just dress, you really embody the character. What are the hints and tips you'd give me for really becoming this character of Phyllis Jenkins?
First, I want to say thank you for shouting out Howard. I got accepted to Howard and got housing back in the day, and then couldn't go because my mother thought it was too far away. So in my soul, I went to the Mecca. So please know we have that as well. And I'm gonna find my acceptance letter and prove to Howard that they let me in so they can make me honorary someday. I would love to be able to call myself a bison. That's
They'll
first.
do it.
Don't play. If you know somebody, tell them I want that. I want it. Okay.
That's my next phone call.
Thank you. That's even Steph. I believe in you. You can do it. Number two, the whole being a part of this world, I have to thank the Russo brothers. As you guys know, they were executive producers of Community, and dear friends of mine were all from Cleveland. And they decided early on when they started taking over the Marvel movies that they wanted to just throw little Community Easter eggs in there. So we all were just waiting for our call. And I was doing a show called The Mayor on ABC back in 2017, and got a text from Joe Russo. He's like, "What are you doing in 2 weeks? Can you come to Atlanta?" And I was like, "Is this a call?" Like I literally, I lost. Excuse me, I don't know if I can cuss. I lost my shit. So I was like, "Yes, is this it?" And he said, "Yes, this is the call, Yvette. You know, can you do it?" And so thankfully, because Disney was the umbrella over everything, everyone behind the scenes said, "Okay, we can take her out of this scene. We can do this. We can move this around." And ABC said yes. Disney said yes. Marvel said yes. And I was in Atlanta shooting the role like 2 weeks later. To prepare for her, Steph, as you do your cosbeing, I will say, just bring your Blackness, bring your female Blackness, and let them have it. It's stuff that it's innate in us. We are born with an eyebrow raised. We are born wondering where you're going, what you're doing, and we're born with that whole get right. You better get it together. So that's all she is. And this is one other thing I want to say about the fabulous Phyllis Jenkins. How dare someone ever say that she might be Hydra? Never. Never. She's a shield agent, and she saw some two sketchy dudes. She was like, "Y'all ain't supposed to be here." She knew everybody that was there. Who are you? Why are you here? So that's all I'm saying. Hydra, never.
All right. Awesome. Yo, I just want to interject real quick, even though it's not my turn, and say, FAMU will accept you too. If you want, we'll gladly have.
You see, Steph was like, "No." I have a lot of friends that went to FAMU, so shout out to all of them. But it's Howard for me. Oh my God.
All right, my sister graduated from Howard, so we're HBCU clique, so it's all good. We're a little rivalry, but more questions here. We've got a young man with good hair named Tyrone who wants to say something. What's up, brother?
What's up,
Hey,
study
all hair is
room?
good
Hair.
hair.
I see you.
And thank you for that kind introduction. Real quick, I just want to salute you with a respectful 6 seasons in a movie.
I love it.
Thank you very much for your contribution to nerd culture. As Stephanie said, big fan. Huge fan of Community, by the way. So thank you for all that.
Thank you, brother.
And I do want to say, since they're showing you all the college love, if Howard doesn't work out and FAMU doesn't work out, then there's a community college in Jacksonville that I was close to that I'd be happy to talk to. I know some people. I could hit you up, the dean, whatever. So, just let me know if things don't work out.
I love it.
So real quick, I was thinking about Phyllis Jenkins, and we got a Nick Fury Captain Marvel team up movie in Marvel. If Disney came to you and was like, "Hey, we're doing a Phyllis Jenkins buddy comedy," what Marvel hero or Marvel villain is Phyllis Jenkins teaming up with in that movie?
Ooh, I mean, I already said I want Agent Carter. I just think that's the perfect, just it's buddy comedy, and it works because I'm already in the 70s where she is, so it would just be an easy fit. And I think all the 70s fashions would be great. And
Oh yeah.
the old cars, me and Agent Carter jumping into an old Buick that's like 3 street lengths long. Come on now, it's great. Someone even said, I don't think this works canon wise, time wise, but someone said, what if Phyllis was Nick Fury's mom? But I just don't think it plays out. I don't think it plays out correctly with the time frame. But I haven't done the math to figure out if it's possible. But that would be great too.
I say we just give Phyllis Jenkins a time stone and just fix everything.
Why don't you better stop playing with me? Come on and write my future. Write my future.
Technically, the timeline's broken right now, so like anything is possible technically. So I mean, Marvel, listen to us.
I don't know how many times I got to say it, but let me tell you something. I not that I speak things into existence, because I'm a Christian. I believe God be working stuff out for me. I don't believe that I be just saying stuff and it happens unless He agrees. But I did talk a long time about meeting Janet Jackson. I met Janet Jackson. I talked a long time about being with the Muppets. I got to be with the Muppets. So I'm just saying, come on here now. Go on, put Phyllis in here now. Come on, Kevin and Marvel, do it.
Come on,
there it is. There it is. I'm waiting for it.
And Yaz is right. I mean, you're nothing but a Doctor Strange wheel away from being put in any universe, any timeline. It doesn't even matter,
you are
man.
Right.
So
you are correct.
Marvel, listen up, Kevin Feige. We talking to you, homeboy. Let's make it happen. Let's go ahead, man. Next one up is the young gentleman to the left by the name of Bad Ty. Has a question for you. What's up, homeboy?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Now,
wait a minute, Ty, you got me behind you too?
I do. I got you behind me. I got you. Man. I would have you in front of me if I could. But
Ty, this could happen. Don't play with me. This could happen. You gonna hit them DMs.
Yo, hold on, man.
Y'all know I'm a fool. Go ahead, Ty. Go ahead.
All right. Listen. So this is also under the MCU. So if Phyllis Jenkins could be a part of a future MCU project, which you've already said, Agent Carter is something that would be in the wheelhouse. What superpower would you have if you were able to be granted one?
Man,
and why?
That's good. Like of course you want to say something like I want to fly, like that would be really cool, or teleport.
Right.
But I feel like the ability to tell when someone's lying, always. Like she could just look at him and be like, that's a mess right there. You ain't saying that. You know what I mean? Like that would be useful everywhere. She would be able to go everywhere it was needed. Anytime they had to talk to somebody, figure something out, find out if somebody was telling it, she could just step in and be like this. Now, if she could tell they were lying and then compel them to tell the truth, I know it's a little Wonder Woman lasso of truth, but I'm just saying, like, if she had that power to kind of get them to you're lying and this is what it is.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Is like how would you find out that they're lying? Like, how would you get them to
I don't know
what they lied about? You know what I'm saying? That would be really cool. Like, would it be some kind of telekinesis?
Yes, I think it would be. She'd be able to look at them and be like, okay, no, the treasure is down here. He said it's to the left, it's to the right. And it's in a green box. Let's go, y'all.
Would it be like a spider tingle?
Yeah, kind of like I think more than being able to tell, they could tell if they were lying, more like reading their mind. I think maybe that's more with it. Like she's looking like, wait a minute, no. And if she stays there long enough, she's like, oh no, he's lying. This is where it is. You know what I mean? Like I just want that myself.
Yeah. Or Daredevil can like read somebody's heartbeat or something like that.
Yes, like just something where she could get to the soul of people, where they could not be anything but who they actually were in her presence.
I like that.
It sounds like Yvette's superpower is to be my wife, because she can tell when I'm around. So I think that maybe crossover.
Why not?
Just kidding. All right. Ty, was there anything else, brother, or would you? That was good.
Well, I mean, now that you mention it, I've been waiting for this one because listen, Yvette, I'm a huge Walking Dead fan.
Hey, let's do it.
And I have to ask because in like I think a week and a half we'll have our series finale.
Yeah. And
I'm curious. This is huge. How excited are you for the series finale? And do you feel as though 11 seasons will be enough to give us everything we need, or would you have liked to see at least one more season?
Having done a few years on a series, there's a certain point in every series where you're like, okay, I think we got it. right?
Okay.
Just from a storytelling standpoint and all of that. Now, I believe that the writers and the actors on that show could give us stories for 20 years. But I'm thinking about Atlanta in summertime in the swamps, and how much would your body want to do that 16 hours a day for years and years and years. So I'm thinking of them as actors. I want them to have some sweet rest, right? But aside from that, I know we have so many spinoffs coming. Like, I can't wait for the Carol and Daryl show. Y'all know I'm the one that started the Carol ship. That is my ship. I'm the captain. I will go down with it. So I know that once they're on a show together and they are the stars of it, that I'm gonna get, at some point, I'm gonna get what I want out of this situation. So that's exciting. The idea that we still have the Rick Grimes movies that are coming. Like, there's a lot of story yet to tell that doesn't have to live in original recipe Walking Dead, which is what I call it. Fear is extra crispy and the original recipe.
Oh God, Fear.
Some of them is mashed potatoes. You got different side dishes, but the original recipe is Walking Dead. And I feel like they've given us what they want to give us. Like 11 years of this goodness. Like, I feel like I'd be greedy to ask for more from that show. So I'm gonna let that one go, and then I'm gonna hold on to everything that's to come. I can't wait.
I got a big appetite, so I'm gonna stay greedy.
Stay greedy and listen. I do believe AMC would like it to keep going in 1,000 different ways too. So you gonna be fed, brother. You will be fed.
This is true.
Yeah.
All right. Scared to ask if Ty has any more, so we're gonna move on. I'm assuming that he does.
I'll get in the DM.
Listen, the DMs are open, everyone. They're open. And I'm scared to say that because I just watched Tinder Swindler. Y'all, this is dangerous to me. Y'all, watch it. It is. I was like, what is happening? But I'm still out in there. I'm in them streets.
All right, yeah, man. Slide on it. All right, man. The queen founder herself, Yaz. What's going on? Have thou any questions, my dear?
Hi. All right. So, my question was, how does it feel to be in one of the top gross movies in the world?
Yaz, I still can't believe it. Every time I'm asked that question or someone talks about it, I cannot believe it. And I've told this story before, but I want to tell it to you guys. I didn't even know I was going to be in Endgame. As I told you, I shot the film I shot my part in 2017. And so I thought I was in Infinity War, and I got swag. They give you swag when you do a film. So I had a little beanie that said Infinity War, a little bag that said Infinity War. So I was in Infinity War as far as I was concerned. And so when the film came out and when Infinity War came out and I wasn't in it, I was like, oh, I guess cutting room floor. And I was like, I know that I had the experience. I know that I was in the elevator with Captain America and Iron Man. And that's going to be something just for me that I know happened. Right. And so by the time Avengers Endgame was coming out, I was anticipating it as the fan that I am. Didn't go to the premiere, didn't even ask about it. This is what's funny. I got a call about, do you want to go? And I was like, oh, I don't want to. It's somebody else's party. It's somebody else's prom. I'm like, I'll go with my Blerd group because I have a Blerd group like you guys have.
That's awesome.
So I'm like, I'll just go. Right. So I'm like, I'll go with we have a Blerd brunch group. You guys should come. If y'all should get in there, and we do Zoom sometime and stuff. It'd be fun. Yes, a lot of writers for Marvel, CW shows are on there. We have a writer from Black Lightning in there. We have writers from Arrow in there. Like it's literally Blerd Nirvana is our Blerd group. And so we all go to movies. When the movies open, we go. And so I was like, well, let's just go see, this. I'll go see this great film with my friends. And I'm sitting in the theater, and when they go to the 70s and I see Stan Lee and he's in the 70s and I see the elevator, I'm like, oh no, is it? And then next thing I know, there's my face. And we all went, we lost it in the theater. We lost it. And my friend's like, why didn't you tell me? I'm like, the NDA I signed. And so I tell my friends now, it's like, anybody that ever wants to tell me a secret, I'm like, I sat on being in a Marvel movie for 2 years. So trust me, I'm a vault. You can trust me. So yeah, I can't wrap my mind around it. It is still just the greatest gift. And, as Blerd yourself, you understand how much all of these different properties have given to us, how much they've changed our lives as kids. Because we, Black people, we don't get a chance to dream a lot. Because of the way this country is set up. And somehow when you get into the sci-fi space or the fantasy space, we're able to be all things, right? And so to have those dreams and love Star Wars as a kid and comic books and all that, and then to get to the point where I'm a part of the canon forever, the biggest film, I can't. I don't even know what to do with it. I don't even know where to pack it. No, but you understand. You guys know, the feeling. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I remember when I was on my first Avengers movie. I can remember like it was yesterday. They didn't. I got the point you was making. Steph, look like you're about to say something.
I was just going to say, you stood out to me so much immediately because I love superheroes. I love them. But here's a Black woman who didn't fall into a tank of eels or get hit with radioactivity or wake up an X-Man. Phyllis Jenkins is just a smart lady who worked hard, worked her way up as an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., is a regular human just like me. And here she is in the Marvel movies repping for Black women. When I saw you, yes, a Black woman agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. who's just smart and sassy and introspective and notices detail like that. I was like, there's my heart right there. This is me. This is us on screen.
But that's what representation is, right, guys? Like, that's why we always say representation matters. We have our superpower as Black people is we can see ourselves in places they don't allow us to be. We've done that our whole lives. We've placed ourselves in places they don't allow us in. Imagine the magic we can do when we actually can see ourselves, when babies are growing up, actually seeing what they can be, seeing what they can do without having to use our imagination to get there. That's huge. And the fact that I've been able to be one of the people that people can take the ride with, that humbles me in a way you guys will never know. I'm not puffed up about it. I'm not like, well, look at me. I'm like, look at us. Like, look what we're doing. This is something that we're building and growing together. And that's why when was it you, Steph, that hit the DMs and was like, I don't know if you'd want to come in. When you said that, there is a yes to my people is the easiest yes. It's the easiest yes. I will get up at the crack of dawn. I will put a lash on. We will kiki and laugh together because we are kindred. We are a village. Our culture matters. We matter. And so it is my honor to be here with you guys today to celebrate and support what you're building because this is beautiful.
Thank you. Man, thank you so much. That means the most. Because that actually is perfect because it leads into my little question here. I actually have a couple prong question. It honestly is, in this world that we live in, as you just so aptly described, as Black people, we kind of have to force sometimes ourselves in places where we weren't originally thought to be in. My whole ordeal growing up was I was a nerdy kid, you know what I'm saying? Just comic books, Star Wars, all of that. But I was forced onto the court, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm tall, you know what I'm saying? And I'm forced onto the field because I'm athletic. And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. But every time I brought up any of this other stuff, it seemed foreign and un-Black, if you will. You know what I'm saying? There's kind of like a, oh, wait, you're into that stuff, but I thought you were Black type of feel. So I was wondering if you ever experienced in your life, is the first part of my question, somebody telling you, listen, Yvette, that's not what you do. You're Black. That's not a Black thing, this nerd stuff, this Walking Dead stuff that you're doing, this Star Wars, this Avengers stuff. What are you doing? Why aren't you with, the other productions that are doing the Black stuff? Have you ever experienced anything like that? And if so, how'd you handle it?
I have. I think when we're talking about superpowers, one of the greatest gifts God gave me is I am immune to peer pressure. Always have been. I've never been. I remember I grew up in East Cleveland and it was all Black folk and I had a great time with my people. And then I moved to a suburb called Warrensville, which was also Black people, but it was a different type of Black people. This was the Black people that, wore the Jordache jeans and got their hair done every week. And, the people that had the money. I didn't grow up with money. And so when I got there, I'm in my cousin's hand-me-downs and braids and just not fitting in. And I remember thinking to myself, but who gets to decide who's cool? Like, why do these people who I don't even really respect because they're not nice, why am I letting them decide that I don't matter or I don't fit in? So instead of trying to be with them, I found all the other misfits and the misshapen and the acne and the nerdy and the blerdy. And we all formed our own clique. And we never wanted to be with the cool kids. We decided that we were cool. And no one else had to agree. We decided ourselves. And then the other side of it is we weren't exclusionary. Like after we realized that we could decide ourselves that what we like is important and fun, we let anybody who wanted to join us. So you could be a cheerleader and hang at our table. Like we just weren't the kind of people that kept people out, but we also didn't let anybody keep us out. We made our own circle, right? And so that has carried me through every space of my life. In Hollywood, I'm not with the cool kids in Hollywood. If you look at the biggest parties, you ain't gonna see me there. One, because I'm an introvert, and two, I'd rather be busy something on television. Just a new Boba Fett that didn't drop. Y'all trying to drink champagne. I'm trying to watch Boba Fett. It's not my stilo, right? But this is the thing. You get to decide that it's okay. You get to decide. No one else has to has to get it. And I'm telling you this, if you got one good friend in your life, my good friend back when I was in the outcast state was my friend Janine Atwood. We are still friends. We 40 years into our friendship now. I'm 50. We met when we were 10. And it's like the whole idea of it is, I know, listen, the melanin is a preservative.
Yes.
Preservative.
Yes, it is.
But the thing is, she and I went through most of middle school and junior high and high school together, understanding each other, celebrating each other in the same way you guys understand and celebrate each other in here. And when you have at least one good friend that gets you, you are invincible. No one can stop you. Sure. So what I'm saying to everyone is find your clique. Stop looking over there and to the left about what they have and what they do. It's the same that's what we do on Instagram. You're looking at people, I want to be like her. No, be you.
Yes.
Be you. Let your freak flag fly. Boldly talk about what you love, because that's when you give other people permission to talk about what they love. And then you'll find your people. It's all about just finding your people and then holding on for dear life. That's what it is.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right. Listen, all right.
You just like do our credo, like
I know. Yes, she did. We say that at the end of every show. I mean, we say let our geek flag fly, but that's
right.
basically the same thing.
Same thing.
Same thing. So I'll say this, and this is my last question. So as somebody, and I can identify with that, having a cool nerds table, in the cafeteria, like I can see them all showing up with their lightsabers.
That's right. Let's do it. Some people bringing in puzzles and stuff. Like we were just a ragtag group of blerds, boy. It's like whatever. And it's the thing, you guys. This is the other thing. One more thing. I'm sorry to stop you, Vince.
No, please.
Being a nerd or a blerd is really just about liking stuff a lot. I love it. That's what a nerd is. You can be nerdy about anything. You can be nerd. I used to love puzzles. I still love puzzles. I am nerdy as hell about Lego. Don't tell me not. Ooh, I love Lego.
Oh my god.
Y'all don't know. My whole house, every surface is covered.
Okay, so can you
love it.
Can you do me a favor? My mom is she's our mother Blerd. My mom is a Lego fanatic. Like she took off my pictures of like our family photos off the wall. She has shelves like with like scenes and everything. Like you don't even understand. I've even like auditioned for Lego Masters with her because like she is that serious. So if you could on your page or what, it's anything you can do. If you send us a pic of your collage. Like I want to see how it looks. What kind of Legos do you have? I know she would love that. That would make her day.
Absolutely. You guys, first of all of you guys, please make sure you write to me on Twitter so I can make sure I'm following all of you. That's first. And Instagram and stuff. I want to make sure I'm following you each individually as well. And yes, I will take pictures and send them to your mother. Like it's a problem, y'all. It's a problem over here.
I know. I spend so much money on her love, and you know what? I'm for it. I am for it. She loves it,
and it makes her happy. It makes her happy. Life is so tough. Why can't your mom just build some Lego?
She
does.
Build some Lego. She comes over to my house to hang out, and she's got her little like kit. And then I even got her for Christmas this year. I got her this awesome like square, like it's a portable one with a shelf that you can take it with you or build with you. So she
let me know where you got that because I need that.
It was on the Lego store actually, but I got it on a discount though. So yeah.
So fandom, as Yaz just proved. Fandom is just loving something a lot. And so everybody at our lunch table just brought what they loved.
That's awesome.
And everybody was welcome. It's like community. You're already welcome. Come on, everybody. Come on in.
Shout out to Mati real quick, the mother hen of our Blerd group. Real quick, since we are talking about things that we love so much, before I go back to Stephanie, my last thing was, as a Blerd, we typically have something that brings us into the nerd wheelhouse, so to speak. My very first nerd love was Return of the Jedi. My pops took me to the movie theater to see it in St. Louis, and I never went backwards. I remember seeing that green lightsaber pop up on screen, and I have not gone back since. Since then, I have become a Spider-Man fanatic, and I have not been able to get it out of my head. I'm just wondering, what was your first Blerd love? What was the nerd love that brought you into the culture and that you never look back with?
Well, I loved Wonder Woman when I was a kid, when I was into comics. I'm not as into comics as I used to be because I kind of cycle through different Blerd spaces, but I loved Wonder Woman when I was a kid. But if it was a film, it was the first Star Wars, New Hope. Like me and my brother went to see that because y'all know how old I am. So I was like 6 when I saw it. And for the rest of my life, it has been Star Wars 100%. I just, when Galaxy's Edge opened up, I was blessed to be able to go right before it opened, and I built my lightsaber. Green is my color, as you all know, because I love me some Yoda. That's my thing. So it's my dude. So yeah, it was Star Wars for me, and it remains Star Wars for me. I dabbled in like hey Grogu. I dabbled in I dabbled in a little bit of Star Trek, but that I liked it, but I didn't love it. Like Star Wars is like my you know what I mean? Star Wars is the thing because I love that the battle between good and evil, and I love that good prevails, and I understand, and I love that there's forgiveness, and you know, in the same way with Walking Dead not being about zombies, it's everything that I love in our space, in our Blerd space. It's there's layers, right? So if you want to just watch people swashbuckling through the galaxies, you can do that. But if you want to have like a real conversation about what is important and what matters and what family is, and is family how you're born or how you're raised or who you choose, all of those types of themes are in Star Wars, and I just freaking love it. Every single movie. I'm not one of those people. I'm not like, well, this is a nitpick. I don't nitpick. I love them all.
Yeah.
This is my world. Go give it to me. Just feed me. Give it to me.
Yes.
I'm like Ty with that. I'm hungry. Give it to me.
Steph, what's up, mama?
So since we're talking about our nerd loves, I cannot go back to my hood if I don't slide this question in real quick. So I run an organization called the Black Improv Alliance. Improv is my deep nerd passion. I saw your clip talking about being on Curb Your Enthusiasm. I know you've been on Whose Line. I Love You as the judge on a Black Lady sketch show, which I would imagine has to involve some moments of improv. So I would just love to know, how has improv played a role in your career development as an actress?
Well, first of all, hats off to you. I am terrified of official improv because I don't feel worthy. So anytime I've been asked, like, come to iOS and do something, or, you know, do something with the Groundlings, or anybody that's trained in that way, that's like, come do this with me, I'm like, nope, because I just really respect the art form so much. I have done a lot of improv though on shows like comedic improv off the top of my head is easy to me because I'm a fool, right? Just like we're in here, like it's all improv is to me, especially comedic improv, is a conversation. Yes. You're having a conversation, you're feeding off each other, you're grabbing whatever somebody puts down, you're picking it up. So that is necessary in everything that we do. And just staying open and loose and free. Like when you talk about Black Lady Sketch Show, it is so well written. I wouldn't dare, just say, well, I know that they wrote this, but I would never. I'm going to say everything those queens wrote is what I'm going to say. But at the same time, we'll get a fun pass and they'll be like, well, say whatever you want. Or if in your reaction, like when the camera's on you, as you're reacting to something in that courtroom or whatever scene or sketch they're doing, if you want to throw something in, you can. There was one thing I threw in, if the shoe doesn't, I can't remember what Quinta said. It was something like, if the shoe doesn't fit, you must have quit. She did a spin on that. Yeah. And my ad lib was, that's a solid cock ring. You know what I mean? So it's like little stuff like that we get to throw in to make, to keep it alive and keep it fun. Mm-hmm. So it's just about, as you know, because you study improv and it's your thing, it's just about staying open and loose and being and playing, right? It's just playing. Remember when we used to play, used to go outside and I'm gonna be the doctor today and you be the that's just what we do. That's what we naturally do, again, because we in particular have had to use our imaginations to create a space, right? So I think we're really gifted in the improv space because of that, because entire worlds live up here when you're a Black kid. Entire worlds.
Well, you have an open invitation to jam with us anytime.
I'm scared, girl. I just told you I'm scared.
You're so good. Everything I want, I like just watch. I was like, this woman is an improviser. I know it. I know she. I was Googling like, okay, let me find her talking about improv because I can see the chops. Just comedically, you are so talented and so quick. I'm on a mission now. I'm on a mission.
Steph. Baby steps. I'll baby step in. I'm terrified though.
I gotta interject here because I just heard Phyllis Jenkins, agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., say she was scared, and I just don't see it. Like I don't picture any.
She wasn't worthy. Timeout. Like let's really she said she wasn't worthy of like being on stage with improv. Like what?
I'm telling you, no. This is the thing, and I think it's a very I think it's a beautiful thing to respect other people's art forms. Like there's a few things that I have never done and I don't think I don't feel worthy of. Stand up, I don't feel worthy of. Broadway, I don't feel worthy of. Improv, I do not feel worthy of. I could probably do a list of 1,000 things. I hope to dip a toe into all of those, maybe not necessarily stand-up comedy because that scares me too, but I may dip a toe in those things at some place. But that's me honoring those that have put the time in, who love it the way Steph loves it. You see, she was like, she loves it.
Yes.
That was the same way I feel about Lego, right? Mm-hmm. So that's her thing. So the people that's like, I think I'm going to do this and I'm going to do, those people drive me crazy. It's like, can you honor the people that actually have the gift for it and have put in the time. Yes, we can all do all things, but we can't all do things with excellence, especially not at the same time. Like, stop acting like someone else's gifting is just universal. Some people just good at stuff.
Wow.
Let them be good. Be a fan of them.
Yeah. And just a side note, 4 out of us are actual stand-up comedians. Myself, Tyrone down here, he's in New York. Stephanie, she's up there. She's at an undisclosed location right now, but she does the stand-up and improv. And myself, I've been doing stand-up now. This will be my 12th year. And Yaz makes clothes and she makes websites. Tyleem, he's a podcast maniac and he's getting into social. So we all have our niches, and I do believe that sometimes you just latch on to whatever bull you can ride.
Right. Well, let me ask you this: as a comedian, doesn't it drive you crazy when you hear some actor going, "I think I'm gonna do a set"? It's like,
no. Here's what really gets on our nerves is after a show when we get the amateur folks coming up to us telling us a joke like we supposed to say it on stage, or we have a conversation. Oh, you're gonna use this in your? Oh yeah, because this conversation is so funny right now.
That's what I'm talking about.
They like to say you can use this in your little skit, and you're like, okay, all right, thank you. Appreciate it.
My little skit.
That's not what we do, but nah, I definitely understand that, man. Well, listen. What's up, Ty? Go ahead.
I just had a really quick question, and this is in regards to your acting, and I'm just kind of curious, like what made you get into acting, and now that you're in it, is the love the driving force that kind of pushes you with your acting career?
That's such a great question. I actually did not pursue acting. I pursued singing. I had a record deal when I was a teenager. I was in an East Coast family. I was discovered by Michael Bivins.
Nice.
Michael Bivins.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was signed to Bipton Records, and we did a song, One for All for One, back when I was 20 years old. And you could not tell me I was not going to spend my entire life as a singer. But this is the thing. Singing didn't want me. Singing thought I was cute, but it didn't want to commit. Hello. And so after I moved to LA after college, I was like, well, what can I do? I want to be in the entertainment space. And because I love laughter and I'm silly, I was like, I'll try to do some commercials. I'll try to do some sitcoms. Let me see how it plays out. And here I am 22 years into an acting career. So it was not my great love. Like, singing is my great love, right? And singing is a thing that I would do for free. Acting, you have to pay me. But singing, I would do it for free. Now, I have found parts of acting that I love. Like, I love voiceover because that's the make-believe, and that's where you can be anything. You can be a flower, you can be a squirrel, you can be a computer in a spaceship. That kind of stuff is fun, and I get to sing a lot in voiceover, which has been a great gift. But right now, as I look at my life, and I'm like, y'all, I'm thinking of retirement now. I'm looking at like when can I get to the place where I'm working because I want to, not because I have to. Right. I like the idea of getting up when I want to get up, not because someone said your call time is right. So as I look at that, I'm trying to fashion what form of this career do I want for my next phase? Do I want to move into directing? Do I want to move into producing? Do I want to dip another toe into writing? I wrote Always a Bridesmaid, which I love. And I'm like, do I want to go back and write some more romantic comedies? So there's things like that I'm thinking about. But I'm not ambitious. I know it seems weird to say that because I've been blessed to do a lot of things, but I don't have 5-year plans. I don't have like, I'm going to get an Oscar. Like, I don't think like that. Like, when I got the Emmy nomination this year, I was like, who even knew I existed? Like, I was so shocked that anybody knew I was even out here doing what I'm doing. So I don't know what's next. And I don't think about what's next. The greatest gift from being in this industry and having a following is that I really love people. And I really think that we can be better. And I believe that these platforms that we have, you guys, are for other people. So if you're on my Twitter, you see that I'm always talking about social justice. I'm always talking about Donors Choose, a charity that I love that helps teachers. I'm always talking about Black Lives Matter and representation matters. I believe as long as I have this platform, I'm supposed to help people. So the best thing about being known is that I get to take whatever light is shining on me and shine it on other people. So all the bonuses of getting to be with the Muppets or getting to be up talking with you guys, all of that is great, but it's not what this is about. What this is about is, how can I use this platform for the benefit of other people? What rooms can I get into that I can mention Steph's name or Yaz's name going forward so that they can get an opportunity that leads them somewhere? We really are our brother and sister's keeper. And I think this world tells us that we got to grab and hold on to everything. That's not what it's about. Anything you get, is supposed to be an overflow situation for the next person coming. Any door you walk into is supposed to be held open for the next person that's coming. Our time here is but a twinkling of an eye. I'm 50 years old. How much more time do I have? I get 25 more years. Why am I amassing a bunch of stuff for me? What good is it if it's not enough to bless someone else's table or bless someone else's journey? We have to think more about why am I here and what can I leave for the next generation. And this is coming from a woman that doesn't even have kids. I don't even have kids, but I want your kids to have some food.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
I love that.
We got to think about others more. And that's what every platform you have. And whoever's listening, you ain't got to have 1 million people. I don't even have 1 million people following me. You can have 5 people, but give and feed that 5 so that they will be empowered to give and feed the 20 that they got or the 30 that they have. You know what I mean?
Wow.
By the way, congratulations on 500,000 followers.
Thank you. Which again, I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
You said it wrong. It's 500,000. Thank you. Is how we pronounce that.
Sorry about that.
And I'm so happy that you're so willing to do so much because the next question was, would you mind teaming up with Ty to do a duet as our intro song for the show?
Ty, you singing it? But you
see him down there.
I sing, but and the thing about it is, I can sing, but I don't love to sing.
Oh,
so it's like the difference. Huh?
You understand it that I can act, and I'm not saying I don't love to act, but I'm saying, like you just said, you can do it, but it's not your great love, right? And and it is mine. I love it.
Oh, we can definitely do a duet sometime. We can put
you know what? No, sometime. Right now, come on!
Wait a minute! I bet you ain't the boss of me. Gonna tell me when I'm 7:30 in the morning. All
right, let me stop before she read my mind. I don't no problems. All right, cool. Well, listen, man. As much as I'd love to have you on for the rest of this, I see you've already dedicated some time in addition to what you already agreed to. So we sincerely appreciate it. As much as I want to ask you about when can we see a Donald Glover, Yvette Nicole Brown mashup in the MCU, which I think is prominent because y'all both exist in the MCU. All right, and we can just easily Doctor Strange y'all quick for a community scene if necessary. I would love to. But
I would follow Donald Glover anywhere. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. All right. Then we'll be on the. We'll definitely do that as well. But before you go, if you wouldn't mind, first of all, we hope you enjoyed yourself with this. We hope that you wouldn't mind, maybe on occasion, not regularly, but maybe joining us again if you don't mind. And then, if you would, real quick, just look in the camera and say how much you love the new Blerd order. That would be dope. I mean, no pressure.
Shameless plug.
Hey guys, I love the new Blerd order. You should too.
Whoa.
Even in the eyebrows. Oh, that was
oh my God.
Shameless. I just want to say so quick, sis, you are so seen, so appreciated. And our community, I told my sister, all my friends, they were like, Yvette Nicole Brown, you got what? How immediately? The name recognition, like we love you, we see you, your community, like you are us, and we feel it. We feel your love, and we feel your support, and we see the work that you do.
Thank you. Thank you, sis. I'm serious, you guys. Please reach out and so I can make sure I'm following all of you. And if you need me, I'm a DM away or email away. You guys have my information. So
absolutely. Thank you so much. Please cue applause, everybody. The one, the only, the lovely, the beautiful, the justice credit, Yvette Nicole Brown, aka Miss Phyllis Jenkins. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We will let you go back to the wild. I'm sure you've got better things to do than to hang out with us silly folks. You know what I'm saying? I'm almost tempted to keep. I could keep her on here, but I tried to give her an out. But I'm like,
Patrice here, y'all get Patrice got a hard out. Get Patrice.
Thank you so much, Yvette.
Thank you guys.
All right, Patrice, everybody. All right, so let's go ahead one more time, everybody, for the one and only Phyllis Jenkins herself. Thanks again. We will be hitting you up soon, and hopefully we'll see you again on here, Miss Yvette Nicole.
And don't worry, Miss Yvette, I will get you that shirt. I will be in your DMs. Don't worry.
Okay. Thank you for that. Yes. She's already in the background. I feel like if I don't like Look, she's still here, bro. I'm
trying to hear the rest of the show.
I'm like, shoot, bro. I'm not even. I was. You know what, bro? I'm going just go ahead and put her. Nah, bro. I don't know.
Where Patrice in here? Where Patrice?
Oh yeah, Patrice. Patrice. Why don't you just bring it to the party? What's up, Patrice?
You know what I'm saying? Why are you doing me like this? Put some respect on my name,
We'll do it like this. Yvette, if whenever you want to head out, please don't just exit. We won't even say nothing. But right now, since it sounded like you are a Boba Fett fan, we were about to start chatting Boba Fett. I don't know if you're caught up or
I'm not caught up. That's the only thing that makes me feel like I need to get up out of here because I think Patrice about to drop the T.
Are you like us? Like we have a love-hate relationship with DC Comics. We don't really talk about it around here.
I can't say much.
Turn her against me.
She's worked for them and won again.
I love her.
Waller, so I can't say much.
Yeah, right.
See,
you can't
go. That's how I know we right here.
We talk to somebody in the universe. You can't ask her to pick favorites.
I mean, we love everything DC.
Listen, if they're signing the check, we gonna be there. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
now I'll let Yvette go. She's already done enough for us, guys. Thank you once again, Miss Yvette.
All right, bye guys. Make sure you send me a link.
Official outing, everybody. Thank you so much.
I want to repurpose this, so send me a link.
Yes,
absolutely. We sure will.
Guys.
Thank you so much. We'll slide in the DMs very shortly. Stay in the background if you like to. Tune in. It's all good. But my God, I am floating on a unicorn right now. Like, holy snap. We just talked for about 45 minutes to an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. And she said a lot of the stuff that we say all the time. You know what I'm saying? Multiple times.
One of us.
That. So and thank you for all of those who tuned in. Twitch is on fire right now. YouTube is on fire right now. Please, guys, please chime in. Let us know what you thought about the interview. Please hit us with some comments. Send us videos. Go to our linktr.ee/newblerdorder and leave a voicemail message for us. And we will even play it on the show or post it in our group as well. But yo, like I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. I was so geeked about talking with Phyllis that I didn't even really care much about talking about Boba Fett. I'm gonna keep it real. Like I was like, Boba who, bitch? What? I see that community. So I did watch it though. I did. And I have to say it was a finale. It was a finale. I have mixed feelings about it. So if you want, let's delve into this a little bit. Patrice, I'm assuming you're caught up. Everybody, Patrice from the Spiritual Lab podcast. Make sure if you're not already, follow the Spiritual Lab podcast, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere you can find it. Okay, and Patrice is a fellow Blerd as well. Patrice, I think it's your first time maybe meeting Steph. Steph, we had to bring into the Star Wars guilds. She was protesting like shit. Still to this day, she's like, "Why y'all got me watching the Book of Busta Rhymes?" She's like, "I don't know if me and Boba T are going to get along for this whole season." Now she's since been assimilated, so to speak, to an extent, but she's still kind of like what she does like, Patrice, which is very, very it's easy to understand, is the Mandalorian. And I think that she's not alone in that. When this season went from being the Book of Boba Fett to being the Book of Mandalorian, I think most of us were like, hell yeah, bro, that's what I'm talking about, Mando. Slice that dude in half.
It's Grogu and friends, bro.
That's right.
You're not wrong. Okay. It is Grogu.
So Patrice, I'm assuming that you're caught up on Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, we'll start with you, and then we'll venture over to Tyrone, who I'm sure has many positive things to say. But what thought you about the season finale specifically of the Book of Boba Fett / Mandalorian / Grogu?
I don't know. The Book of Boba Fett, I just wasn't as impressed. I don't know. Right. I felt like they did a great job of building him back up, because from episode 1, when you saw episode 1, it was like, it's kind of like they took a legend and made him seem so ordinary that it wasn't as interesting to me. But then I think as they went through the season, they they really did a good job of building that character. I mean, he was able to learn a fighting style from the Tuskens. He was able to get his armor back. He was able to kick some ass and take some names. And then it was like, all right, this is the Boba Fett we were hoping to see. Right. But I feel like, especially with Mando coming in, it's almost like he steals his thunder because he is really that badass Mandalorian. And I feel like Boba Fett is, I don't know, he's trying to change the game in a way that is different from what I thought he was going to be. Like the ending of Spice Trade and stuff. It's like, not that that's a bad thing, but it's like, I feel like he's trying to do this like peaceful mecha type thing. And it just wasn't who I thought he was going to end up being.
Well, I'm curious, before we go to Tyrone, what did you think?
I thought he was going to be similar to Mando, just like this badass who's going to take names, who's, you know, maybe he'll rule the syndicate, but he's just going to continue to be this legend. Maybe a little harder in nature, but for him to turn out and kind of be more on the peaceful side, it makes sense, I think, with everything he's been through, but it just was different from what I expected.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was a little of a setback. I think you might have somebody to agree with you. Tyrone, what do you think about the season finale, bro?
It was there was a lot. And also I want to be respectful. I don't want to spoil it for any special guests we might have had who might still be watching. So I'm going to be like careful about spoilers.
Right. True.
But yeah, like I started watching it like I used to watch Clone Wars. Like, you know how you would get to a Clone Wars episode and you'd be like, I don't know about this episode. There's some like really cool stuff in it, but like the episode is like, you know, you would see cool things like Cad Bane showing up, or like, or like, you know, just you would see these cool moments happen, or like the idea of these cool moments happening, and then it would just, without spoiling, there are some moments in here where like crazy action is interrupted by like really slapstick comedy in a way that's like, whoa, this is like, I got whiplash. Like I was sitting here like really worried about somebody's life, and like we paused for like a bit real quick. It's like, oh, like, you know, things like that. I was like, this is so Clone Wars, which is not always a bad thing, but I think what happened was some of the moments that we were waiting for, they didn't hit as hard because they needed to keep it so light for something, like, you know, adding Grogu in there and stuff like that, keeping it so light. So it was just I think ultimately all of these cool things, again, I'm being vague on purpose, and I'm like editing myself on the fly, but like all these things that, like, you know, if you're telling Star Wars fans like, hey, this is gonna happen, you'd be like, oh snap, I can't wait to see this. And then it's like, okay, it happened.
Right. Yeah.
That's cool.
All right.
So if
that
tells you how I feel about the episode, I enjoyed watching it. I laughed a lot.
I don't know if this. All right, there was a scene that I particularly got pretty testy, and I'm trying to follow Tyrone's lead of not spoiling, but I can already feel it oozing out of me, bro. I can feel it, like it's like it wants to come out so bad, and it might. But there was a scene in which it was very similar to Boys in the Hood. Like, I don't know.
Like the runs to me.
I was like, so my nigga, you just gonna stand up and run in the middle of a whole gang war, right? You just gonna, like, it's, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, whatever. You know, but I'm sorry, I don't have the ability to not. All right, you know what? Yes, save me, bro. While I put my foot in my mouth. What you thought about the episode?
This episode. Okay, it gave me semi-life. I'm not gonna lie. Can you guys see me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I don't know why it's like dark on my side for whatever. Anyway, it gave me life because of the scenes that I've been waiting for. And I know that you guys might understand what I'm talking about, like that have to do with Boba specifically, and you know, him riding something.
Right.
That was pretty awesome. I did like the the showdown, like where, you know, like Mando and Boba kind of, like, you know, helped each other out and like aided each other, you know, in that whole like scene where they were just like going balls to the wall. But I think my favorite part about this whole episode was Fennec at the end, OGing everybody, like in the Pike Syndicate, bro. I loved that shit when she like got the little alien dude like by the, like, you know, that was like, it was awesome. I was like, yo, Fennec is fucking murdering him. It was life, no lie. So I didn't like, the only thing that kind of was super cringy was the moped scene when the dude with the eye like flipped. I couldn't. I was like, is Is this a riding a bike? Like, I don't know. I couldn't get on with that.
That now I don't know why you doing that. Like you passed it to Yaz, knowing that Yaz and you are similar. I mean, you
did a pretty good job.
Stephanie, because look, when it's coming to like this,
I tried.
I did a good job.
Like,
oh my God,
killed everybody.
Yo, I don't want to spoil anything, but Han Solo dies. Okay.
Listen, I did pretty good. I didn't say like everything. All right, I like.
You're right. Just most of it.
There was like,
but that's what we do. Yes, yes. You, my sister. We the same, bro. We can't help it, man. What did Yvette say? Being a nerd is being so excited about something. Yeah. We can't contain it, bro. It is what it is, man.
I like how Vince. I like how your strategy was. I'm just gonna stop talking.
Yeah.
I
cannot filter myself, bro. I can't. I don't. And even look, I'm gonna keep it real. If it wasn't for Tyrone, I got pictures that spoil. I'm like, oh, so, okay. All right. I guess I won't post this one up here. You know what I'm saying? Tylene, bro, what you thought? And I will say that there are some things that we can talk about openly without spoiling things, such as Grogu's decision, all right, whether or not it's going to hold true, what the future of the Mandalorian is, the future of Cad Bane and Cobb Vanth, if there is one, without spoiling, and what the Syndicate is going to represent now. We could talk about some of the stuff in the beginning that was speculated about with like regard to the Pikes being as devious. Like, I mean, that's not new. They devious as fuck. Like these motherfuckers is out there setting up shit. You know what I'm saying? So these motherfuckers is like real gang. Like they like the FBI. They're like COINTELPRO. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to infiltrate the Black Panthers.
That was more like some mafia shit, bro. They were like incognito all day.
Yes,
like, and setting this shit up, and then all of a sudden everyone's like,
bro.
Y'all remember when we were like when Boba was like, "Hey, just don't be mean to me. Don't be on their side. Just be neutral." And they were like,
"Oh my God, the lies!
Come on,
the lies!" Like
I believe the word was, "I will abide."
My man did redeem himself though when he was riding on that specific thing. So I'm sorry. The throw, like, bro, that thing was launching people. It fucking ate a dude. It was awesome.
All right. Can we just talk about it openly, bro? At this point, man.
I'm sorry. I tried.
We normally talk about it. It's the finale. If we don't talk about it now, when are we gonna talk about it next week when it's not relevant no more? All right. So let's just say that from this point forward, if you are looking to have a spoil-free show without the information from the this week, then tune out now and tune back in. It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, it's on Twitch. See it. We're on Comedy Hub. Thanks to Jay. Thank you, Jay. I think he's here live. What's up, Jay? Thank you for allowing us to use the platform. And thank you for everybody who's watching on Twitch. Please drop an emoji, drop a comment so we can say what's up to you. But yeah, we're now in our second hour of the show, and we are going to spoil shit. So thank you, Yaz, for giving me permission. Ty, what did you think about Darth Vader showing up at the very end with Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia and Lando? No, I'm just playing. None of that happened. But this did happen, and it was pretty exciting. I'm gonna go ahead and put that up on the screen. And I thought that was dope as shit. It gave us King Kong vibes, which is something that we hadn't like to see a mobile Rancor moving amidst the streets of Mos Espa was dope because we only seen him in Jabba's palace, right? We've only seen Rancors, and I think it was also significant that it's a cub, right? Because it was like hella agile. The motherfucker was jumping all over the place. It was giving me Rampage vibes. But Ty, what did you think about the show, homeboy?
I kind of expected the Rancor scene, like that. It everything kind of pointed to that, happening in the series finale. I think for me, the action sequences were really good. Yeah. I still don't feel as though the story was told the correct way. So I'm still a little disappointed that we still have yet to figure out what Boba Fett's intentions really are. Like, he's still kind of like, on this, I don't know if I'm meant to do this. I don't know if I'm meant to do that. I mean, You know, for Stephanie's pleasure, we finally saw Boba Fett show his capabilities. You know, the knee rockets, you know, the jetpacks, actually utilizing the jetpack.
Right.
There was a lot of sequences. But again, even when the Rancor pulled up, I was just like, I was expecting more, even though he picked my expectations for like it, because everything that led up to it was just Mandalorian based, Grogu based. I was like, okay, now this is your chance to really, really shine. And he got knocked off the Rancor. You know what I'm saying? And then it was like, the Rancor's loose. And I was like, yeah, you know, that like, so I'm probably, if I were to give my excitement level, I would probably put it at maybe a 5. So because and that's based upon the action sequences, but the story still, and the fact that you needed Grogu and Mandalorian, and all of your you know, the side cast, in order to make this show better. You know what I'm saying? Like I need, whenever you name a show after a particular person, I need them to thrive in their own show. And I didn't feel as though Boba thrived in his own show. And for that reason, I don't even know if we get a season 2.
Oh wow, you don't think we'll get a season 2? I mean,
there
were some really sketchy article headlines that I saw. Some, you know, one of them particularly grabbed me. It said, even if there's no Boba Fett season 2, we'll see these characters again.
Yeah.
And I was like, why wouldn't we see it? Why wouldn't we see a season 2? I mean, listen. Did a lot of Star Wars fans bitch and complain about this season? Absolutely, Tyrone did. But the fact of the matter is, all right, sorry. He's not alone though. He was actually he's pretty on, you know, point with a lot of the Star Wars fandom, that Boba Fett, just for whatever reason, it did not deliver in the same manner that Mando. I mean, for the fact that when Mando showed up in episode 5, we lost our fucking shit and didn't even want, and Boba Fett wasn't even in the episode. It's indicative of the way that they're going. However, Patrice, and then actually Steph, because you haven't given any opinion on this yet. I will say that I still think that I'm one of the few people that defends, you know, the prequels. You know, I still think that, because I'm an Easter egg head. You know what I'm saying? The double-sided lightsaber, Darth Maul and his people being introduced, Mace Windu. Yoda fighting with lightsabers against Count Dooku, Skywalker losing his arms. I mean, like I you know, I still think Jar Jar was a catalyst for a lot of that, but I mean, I could be overestimating. But Steph, what did you think as the least fan of Star Wars on the panel? What are your thoughts about the?
I'll first say, Patrice, I know you have a heart out. Did you have other thoughts you want to share before you gotta go?
Right. Oh, I was gonna say, well, just kind of referencing back to what Vince was saying about the prequels and loving those. Even if we weren't gonna like have him being similar to like the Mandalorian side of things, the Bad Batch does a great job of giving us that background of Kamino and Clone Wars and soldiers. And even if they would have took that route, we still would have got some hardcore, you know, background story on Boba Fett, and he still would have had that integrity as a character. I feel like Omega is even harder to him, and that's sad. It's one of those things where it kind of, especially with Steph coming in on this one, it's like, girl, give us a chance. I promise you. It's this series is not bad, but there's so many other ones that really help to give you that backstory that are fire, just phenomenal. So I did think that was interesting that they would do a show like that, which is all a prequel. I mean, it's just literally all about the clones, and we fucking love it. And then we get this, and it's like it's hit or miss. It's touch and go.
Did we love Bad Batch?
I love Bad Batch. I
loved it too. Y'all still hating on it, but I'm glad.
I didn't hate on it.
I've still yet to finish it.
Wow.
I know, right?
Y'all asleep.
Listen,
Look,
you need to watch it because once they show some
I
shit
tried.
that was in there and your ass doesn't know what we're talking about,
Yeah.
I was like, I told you to watch it. I told you to watch
The pikes
it.
came up in there. We knew they were real ass niggas from that show. Like they came in ready to just chop heads and was like not playing no games.
And I'm sorry, but at the ending, like didn't they like hint to like going to like find somebody at the end of the book of Boba Fett and we don't know who it is. So if Omega pops up, you need to be on that level that we are at. Just saying, watch it, bro.
Yes.
All right. Stephanie, Omega is Boba Fett's clone sister, but she's even more strong, supposedly, in terms of her DNA or whatever. She's more pure Jango Fett, I guess.
Why couldn't we get the book of her? That sounds like
As a kid, when we last saw her, she was a kid running around with like some like outcast clones, that were the badass clones that were altered. So
that sounds compelling.
It is. Watch it. The Bad Batch. It's animated though. It's on Disney. It's on Disney Plus. It's really good. Check it out. Obviously, Tyleem doesn't think so because he didn't even bother to try and finish
it. Saying a word.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Like, I did bother to try and finish. Don't mince my words. I tried multiple times, and every time I tried, sleep won. I'm just letting you know that I didn't try.
All right. 30-minute episodes, bro. You can't keep them eyes open. Like, come
I
on.
know.
Well, I mean, I will say this, like the Bad Batch, and if you gotta let us know if you gotta head out, Patrice. I know you have a hard out too, so just give us a tap on the shoulder. But I will say that the Bad Batch, for those who aren't into the anime shows, it does is as decent as it was. It still doesn't hold a light to Clone Wars, in my opinion. I mean, in Clone Wars, we get Anakin, we get we have two lightsabers with freaking Ahsoka, who it was basically Ahsoka show. The show could have been called Ahsoka. You know what I'm saying? Like it was great, and Ahsoka went up against Darth Maul, went up against Darth Vader. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it was nuts. So to see, Bad Batch after that, it just was a little bit of a downward tick. You know what I'm saying? Because we're talking clones now, not Jedis, not Sith. We're talking, basically off-brand clones. And even as much as I like the dude who's really stupid and has one eye and talks like this, you know what I'm saying? I forget his name.
It's
Wrecker.
Wrecker, yeah, Wrecker. You know what I'm saying? As much as I thought he was cool. And ice cold as the main. What is his name? Sharp shot.
You're talking about the fucking
bullseye.
Cross-eye.
Cross-eye.
It's Cross-eye.
Yeah. Crosshair. Yeah, Crosshair was cold as fuck. I ain't gonna lie. Like his character, I fucks with.
He killed kids.
But everybody else, it was kind of like, whoa,
He's like the Peacemaker of the clones.
Yeah. Yo, Crosshair was no bullshit, bro. He was ready to kill no matter how many women, children, Jedi.
Yeah, he killed.
He was like, the order is the order.
Can I interject real quick though?
Go ahead.
Okay, so you said you don't like the Clone Wars because of.
Whoa.
I'm sorry, my bad. After you don't like the Bad Batch because
I didn't say that either.
Okay. You said that after seeing the Bad Batch, it wasn't as organic as seeing like the Clone Wars, right? But think of the age difference between Ahsoka and Omega. Omega's a kid. Ahsoka was like a teenager, like, becoming an adult. You know what I'm saying? So of course she's gonna be a badass bitch. She's had like so much, and she was with one of the strongest Jedi on top of that trained her. You know what I'm saying? And she had Obi-Wan too to like, have his
everything you're saying is leading me more towards exactly what I said.
But I'm saying, like, she's a kid that's stuck with clones that are defective. You know what I'm saying? Okay, but like they're on the run their whole time. But it's not going to be as organic, and it's one season. Clone Wars has like how many? 7
Yeah. Clone Wars has 4 seasons.
Like, give her a chance to like get down that level. You know what I'm saying? Like we're learning about her, we're getting to know her, and now that we've dropped little hints in actual live action, who fuck knows? She might be your fucking next favorite, like, sexy woman of the month. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's her month.
With it, though, you get those Easter eggs, though, which you say you love. You get Fennec. You get to see Cat Bane in action. You get to see, again, the world of Camino in the background. You get to see a lot of different things that
Bo-Katan was even in Bad Batch for a second, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah,
they were definitely there. But I do have to say, Mandalorians aren't my favorite characters in the Star Wars universe. I'm a Jedi guy. You know, I'm not a Sith. I like lightsabers. I like the Force. So for that, all I'm saying is it's not that it was a bad show. It just wasn't centered to the lore that I'm most attracted to in Star Wars. So I'm the one that liked it. I enjoyed Bad Batch, although I am a little weirded out by your fascination with Omega. Like, what's so special about her? She's just a little kid with a freaking New Zealand accent. She's a clone. What's so? I mean, she don't got no powers or nothing.
Didn't you
she kept
say
having
that,
to get rescued? She's a pokey ass little kid too. She'll sit the fuck still somewhere, and she won't get off the damn ship. She know how many missions she damn near fucked up by goddamn leaving the ship and sticking her nose in chick like she had no bit. And y'all are loving this chick, yo. Y'all are encouraging this Michigan
as a chaperone.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
how are you doing, little white girl?
That's right. Like, but
I am here.
I do truly believe though that if she has a reveal on a Boba Fett 2 or a Mandalorian 3, that it's going to be huge, and a grown up Omega is going to break the internet for a little while, especially if she's a little more well versed in the arts of Star Wars stuff.
I totally think they should use Yelena as like Omega.
Nah,
no, not Yelena.
No, you gotta use somebody of Maori descent.
I mean, she's a white girl though. Like in the she doesn't have a tan. She's blonde hair, blue eyes.
But you gotta take her image from Boba Fett. She should look the same shade or darker or in that green.
You got to do some Hollywood whitewashing.
Spray tan works really, really well, bro.
Okay. I'm surprised Yaz didn't recommend. I was just gonna say I'm surprised she didn't recommend Tom Hardy for Omega.
I'm just saying, like, it's not like it has to be a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a Boba Fett is an islander, so like, you know, I'm an islander. We're all shades. We're all different colors. We're all different shades. You know what I'm saying? There's all different spectrums of colors. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like it has to be too much off. You know what I'm saying? Like, just dye her hair a different color.
Nah. If we can cast a brown person, cast a brown person.
Gotta be a brown.
I'm totally with you guys, but I'm just saying, like, as for action, I want to see a badass bitch. I want her.
What month is it though? What month is it?
Right. Not in February. We can't do that.
You know who would be killer as Omega? Zoe Saldana.
Ooh, she would.
She's
But they're doing Avatar 2 right now, so that's not going to happen.
They've been doing Avatar 2 for 20 years.
Exactly.
Okay, that's just never happening. I'm so over the Avatar 2's teasings. Like, oh my God, like, let James Cameron, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You do like one movie every century. What the fuck is up with Avatar 2, bro? Like, for real, bro. Like, you've been teasing this shit for 10 years, bro. Like, what the fuck,
We'll get it this year. It's just like The Incredibles. We waited 20 years for that second movie, and the second movie was just as good as the first one. So you know what I'm saying? Like, don't rush perfection, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Incredibles 2 was dope as fuck. But just to jump back, well, real quick, Patrice, do we have you for a little while longer, or do we need to let you sneak out the back door?
I got like maybe 5 more minutes.
All right. We're doing good. What I wanted to talk about next was, it looks like we have some indication, even though it's not 100% clear, about what Grogu decided to do when his decision. He was offered 2 different pathways, which we all agree, I think, is bullshit, because Luke, your stupid ass, got that same choice, and guess where you went? To the Death Star to get your hand chopped off. So don't sit here and try to like mansplain to little baby Yoda about some shit when he's only 50, bro. He's only 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, let that man get some more time. But it looks like he chose the Mandalorian way, but we may not know. They didn't give us all of the details of what he did decide. As far as we know, there's a lightsaber hilt inside his chainmail. So
his daddy got one. I tell you, his daddy got one. Whenever you want it, son, it's yours.
Daddy got a saber. You know what I'm saying? Yours. And who knows? As far as we know, he can't be. I was gonna say Luke might be dead, but he shows up in Last Jedi. As far as as long as we know, Grogu was like, yo, fuck your choices. Just like taste the lightsaber. Because I mean, Grogu is starting off with the Force, unlike Luke, who had to learn the Force, right? So
Mhm.
he's already a little bit ahead. So what say you about that, Patrice?
I think it's bullshit. I think that that's part of the issue in Star Wars is the fact that we keep acting like love is some kind of weakness,
Right.
and it doesn't have a benefit. So it's like we're gonna rip you away from your home, your family, and everything you've ever known to teach you the way, and it's like, or to teach you how to use the Force, and it's like it's really not beneficial in the end. So for me, I felt upset because it's like, why are we repeating history? Did we not see what happened when we did this with Anakin and Padme? When this happened with Kylo and the next, it's just like every time we act like love is the destroyer of things, it just makes it more difficult for those people to really master the Force and do what they're supposed to do.
Well said. Well said. I agree wholeheartedly.
Was it just
Although I
me
will
that-
say,
or-
go ahead, Ty.
I was just gonna say, was it just me, or did your heart just melt when Grogu jumped into?
Yes.
Jumped into his arm like he jumped into his arm like, wow!
Yeah, I love that.
But there's
Okay.
still a little. Listen,
with that
I get the
episode-
father-son shit. Oh, go ahead, Tyrone.
And I was gonna say that was honestly, to me, that was one of the parts of the episode where I was like, why are they doing this right now? Like, this is a moment that like we've all kind of really been looking forward to, and they're just like, by the way, in the middle of this battle, like real quick, oh, you're wearing the shirt that I got you. Okay, hey, nice to see you.
Right.
Like that's it. Like, come on, like we waited for so long to get this reunion, and it just like happened in this weird moment. That like them having to pile everything in, it just like and I've got a lot of specific things that I want to ask about, but I won't derail the conversation now. But just that moment was just like. You kind of ruined it for us.
I feel like
Yeah.
the
Really?
Rancor, I
Damn.
feel like
I
the
didn't think
Rancor
that
and
at all.
Grogu got more of a moment than like him and Mando.
Yeah.
To be honest with
Right?
you, like to be honest with you, if you think about it,
We're in danger. Who'll come back?
right? Just
All right.
let me
Hey,
just
listen.
curl
are
up
you-
with
are
you
you-
after.
I'm sorry. I'm talking over you guys. I'm sorry.
You're good. Go. Go.
You were talking.
Okay, all right. I want to make sure. Well, I did think that it was overlooked that baby girl that the mechanic is once again trying to fuck another alien. Like what is her whole deal? Like,
Wait a minute. Actually, he was hitting on her. She was like, "I ain't got time for you right now."
Yeah, but she's like the
She
first thing
said
she said,
nice.
"Oh yeah,
What she
handsome,
say?
come
Nice.
Nice tentacles.
Yeah, nice
Nice
head
tail.
tails, and she starts rubbing on his like she don't know if that could be blood flowing through his
It's an
head right
erogenous,
now. You know?
yeah.
Yes.
She got to get together.
Nah, she's like she's a hilarious character.
Oh,
but it was
my
like
God, I love her.
also apparently I didn't know she was deaf. Like which is cool. Like but like there's no way she was riding this thing and didn't hear an entire full scale war happening until she turned a corner. You know what I mean? Like these are the little things of the show that I'm just like, why are y'all doing this? For example, like Boba Fett and Din both have very powerful ships that they could have used to like.
Oh my God! Yeah,
Anytime
that
they could've
upgrade,
been
that
like,
ship
no.
upgrade was
like,
insane.
oh yeah. Oh, I got a whole ship just chilling in the garage. It's a fire spray gunship, and it could
No.
probably kill these droids
I'm
pretty
not gonna
easily.
hop in here.
Oh, let's not forget there's a whole X-Wing in a garage somewhere. You know
That
what I'm
was
saying?
just
That
Grogu's
Grogu
Uber.
pulled
That
up
was
in.
just- No, that
I
was
mean,
just
a Naboo
Uber
Starfighter.
and it had to bounce. Yeah,
Wait,
that was.
it wasn't. Wait, hold up. He did pull up in the X-Wing, right?
Yeah, he pulled up
Yes,
the
but
X-wing.
it was but that was just a ferry ride. It was just R2 dropping him
Oh,
off,
R2 took him back.
get a
Okay.
5-star rating, and then just go back to
Tip your driver.
Uber X.
Uber X-wing. Yeah.
All right, Patrice, you got to go a little more.
Yes, I gotta go. I'm sorry,
All
guys.
right,
Thank you for joining us.
Patrice doing what she
Yeah.
does best, leaving
Listen,
us.
I
early.
am booked and busy. You already know.
Yeah,
I love
already
y'all
know.
though. I do
It's
love
good
y'all.
to be busy though. It's good to be busy. Yo, let's get some applause for Patrice. Thanks for joining us, Mama Patrice. Everybody, Star Wars aficionado, representing the Blerd community to its fullest, and always talking good stuff. Grogu, all of that. We hope you'll come back one day when you have more time, Patrice. Appreciate you, and thanks for being patient with us in the background as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, man, what a jam-packed show we have today, man. I still have more to talk about with Grogu and with Boba Fett. I did kind of want to touch Peacemaker a little bit, but I am curious before we go into Peacemaker, man. Tyrone, you said you had questions.
Yes, I wanna
We
hear
got a
this.
few more minutes on Boba Fett, bro. Like, what is it that you were so like? What?
All right, cool. I'm gonna need answers on this ship thing. I'm gonna need John Favreau to be like, hey, we forgot about the ships. Like, all of this, like they're like, hey, we're in the biggest war of our lives. We need to make sure we're outnumbered. We need to make sure we got our shit together, which they absolutely did not. The plan was terrible. But like this whole time they could have just and we've seen that Boba can that actually Django, I think it was, you can control that ship.
Yep, remotely.
Like they could have had a drone protecting them. But anyway, so that's one. Also, like the Pikes are talking to Cad Bane, and they're like, "Oh, they're holed up in this little area," and Cad Bane's like, "I'm gonna get him to come outside where I know how to do it." And then his big plan was just go and ask, and then Boba came outside. Like,
Wait. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let me just interrupt. And he didn't just go and ask Tyrone. I mean, he
sent the droid to ask. My bad.
And the objective, I think, was to lure him outside and to get him out of that little place so that he could shoot at him. And I don't know what that was all about.
And Boba was like, okay.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And like, you know, it's things like this, like the whole, like from the mod squad, as I've heard them called, which is I love the name for them, but she's like, there's no way I'm leaving this building. If you want to leave, you can leave, but this is where I'm standing. And then Fennec was like, y'all go stand somewhere else. And she was like, all right, cool. Like so many things that just like they established and then immediately just like bounce. Like it was, and then like the Rancor takes blaster shots to the chest over and over again and is like, all right, no big deal. But Cad Bane like puts a little bit of fire in his face and he's like, oh my God, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I'm gonna destroy the whole city. And then, which is kind of okay, cool. Fire hurts the Rancor, right? But then
scares
the
Rancor.
Okay, and then Din,
that basic beast,
puts the flamethrower in his mouth, and the Rancor is like, "Hey, why'd you do that?" And then just like boom, like and kicks his ass. You know what I mean? So it's like so many inconsistencies. I'm watching, and I'm like, why are we doing this? Like, why are we doing this? Everything about like there were a lot of like visually, it was like really fun to look at, and there were a lot of fun things that happened. Like it was that's why I was like an episode of the Clone Wars. It's like none of this makes any sense, but it's fun to watch.
Okay, that all good points. All good points, Ty.
I mean, like Tyrone's not saying anything that we haven't already said, you know, regarding this series. The writing was terrible. Like we for a lot of the shows. I'm not going to say all of the shows, but for the most part, the writing was definitely underwhelming. The action in this last series finale was substantially better than what we've seen thus far. So in regards to the Rancor, again, the Rancor is a baby at this moment. So these are first time interactions with fire. It's still, even though it is a baby, it does have a pretty hard shell. So those laser blasts to the chest, it did hurt the Rancor. It did knock the Rancor back. So it wasn't like it just brushed the shots off, and it was just like, oh, you know, like that doesn't hurt me. You know, it did in fact hurt the Rancor. So in regards to those issues.
But real quick to address that one real quick, lasers burn hotter than fire. I mean, I'm no thermodynamics expert, but lasers burn hotter than fire. Like if anything was to hurt it, it would be the giant scorpion droids shooting it point blank in the chest. I'm not like, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like I can buy all the suspension of disbelief, the spaghetti Western stuff, the saloon stuff. But like when you establish these things, like keep them established. Don't be like this is a thing, but then we're just going to cancel it out 5 minutes later here. You know, like those kinds of things are where I'm like, why are we doing this? Sorry.
Yeah.
No. But that's what I'm saying. The consistency of the bad writing and the bad storytelling has been consistent throughout the series. So this part we've already discussed, you know, like coming into the series finale. So, you know, the fact that they stay consistent with the bad writing, I mean, that's the expectation. So that's why I was saying, like, it's not a surprise at all that some of these things made absolutely no sense. But you know, I think they knew at this point, by the time they got to the series finale, that we need to do something to make Boba look amazing for his I would probably say his final
oh wow.
final shit. Yeah, because I really honestly, like I said from earlier, everybody in the show but Boba did a good job. And that's just what I saw. Fennec was amazing. I would watch a spin-off of Fennec Shan and be glued in because she was just dynamic from the jump. That consistency of her being dynamic and being just a mega badass that kept up the entire series, even in the series finale. She single-handedly wiped out all the people that undermined Boba in the first place, and protected, when she came over there and shot all of the I don't even know what they're
Pikes.
called. No,
The
they weren't
gangsters, the
pikes.
crime lords.
When the biker gang was being hunkered down with the shots and everything, she took out that whole unit by herself. And I think one of the things that we also have to take into consideration is Boba and them had a plan based on the idea that they thought that everybody for whatever reason was going to stick to the agreement of not interfering, which we go back to that series and we were talking shit about that, like, oh, he says all of this and then they're just like, okay. And then he talks, he has a conversation with Finnick and she asked him, do you trust him? And he says no. So then why the fuck did you think that they were? I mean, like, it just made no sense. A lot of the stuff, I'm with you, Tyrone, completely, that a lot of it made no sense. And that's why I'm a firm believer that this might be the last we see of Boba. But because we saw so many good characters in this show, we could very easily see a spinoff in a different direction.
Wow. Is that a theme now? Are we, Tyrone, do you agree? Yaz as well, Steph? We might not see a season 2. I didn't get any feeling of that. Like, I thought this gives me like, we bitched and moaned about it, but we want to see more. A lot of folks complained about The Force Awakens. All right. A lot of folks complained about episode 1, Phantom Menace, but we still got the rest of the sequels and prequels.
I think it's going to come down to whether or not they have a story to tell and I don't know if they do at this point. I mean, when we got to the end of it, Boba, one of the first things he said is like, we're not cut out for this. Like, after all that, he's like, I'm not good at this.
I don't know if this is for me. I don't like all the bowing.
Right. It's like, why is this happening? It's like, you just spent 7 episodes trying to get here. The first thing you're gonna do is complain about it. But like, so I don't know if there's really any story left to tell for Boba himself. You know what I mean? Like, and so I don't know if he's going to carry an entire other season. I don't think that Disney or Star Wars are going to make many decisions based on like people just being mad at them. Historically, they have pretty much been like, I don't care, and are we're gonna. Well, I guess episode 9 was sort of like all fan service. I take back that point. So maybe Boba Fett is going to be put on punishment forever because we're all mad about it. Who knows? But like, it's. I don't think we need to see Boba Fett on a large scale, and maybe we didn't need. Maybe the pieces of Boba Fett that we had from before were enough, and we got greedy, and they were like, "Here's what you want," and we were like, "Oops, we didn't know we didn't want it," or something like that, because it wasn't super strong, and. I very much wanted to like this show. I went in like, yeah, Boba Fett is going to be fun. I tried adjusting my expectations to watch it in a more silly way, which helped in the second half of the show, especially in this finale. But man, like there are just so many things that like, and I like watching Daniel and Minnie in the comments because like, I know what they're trying to do. Like, I know the idea. I know what, I get it, but they're shooting themselves in the foot every 5 minutes, like by erasing stuff that they've established 5 minutes before. And it's, those are the kinds of things where it's like, as a Star Wars fan, I love to see all this silly stuff. I love to see all the crazy stuff. But as just like a fan of watching a show, I'm like, I do want it to make sense.
Yes, I'm with you.
100%. I think that we have Andor too to look forward to. I'm
looking forward to that. Yeah.
I think Andor is gonna do some numbers. I think Ahsoka is gonna anything with a lightsaber in it is gonna do numbers.
Kenobi.
Even though this one had lightsabers in it, the dark saber to me is like a different, like creative lightsaber. You know what I'm saying? Like when you wield it without the Force, and don't have that like that. That smooth Jedi ability to like, look at Steph. I see you, Steph. Yes. Rub on up, Steph. What we eating on this morning? What we snacking? Steph, it's a whole mouthful. She's not she has no intention to say shit right now.
Honestly, guys, like, I'm probably no good for the rest of the day. I am still glowing in the aftermath of speaking to one of my icons. Like in the last Spider-Man movie, No Way Home, whatever, when Doctor Strange hits him in the chest and his spirit is separated from his body, that's me. Like, I'm physically present in this chair, but my spirit is still reliving the Black girl magic that we were just blessed with. So, like, I'm still mentally like, yeah.
You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone at all. I'm just glad that my internet didn't give out. That was the biggest thing. There was a couple moments I was like, "Oh my god!"
Wavering.
No.
You started blurring.
Yeah,
I was like,
it was after though.
Yeah, as soon as she was gone, it was I ended up like, all right, can I sit my ass down on the couch now, please? You got me up here holding up the antenna for the TV. But nah, yeah, I think one of the biggest things about that that interview was the fact that she was so outward about Blerd, like specifically Blerdom. Like it wasn't like, oh, I'm a nerd. She's like, no, I have a group of Blerd friends. It's called Blerd Nirvana. You know what I'm saying? And then, did you peep this part? Oh, this is normally the after show, but we're doing it live now. Fuck it. Did you peep when she was like, we do it? You know what? I should invite y'all. And poof, my spirit went outside my body.
I saw your head explode.
Review, and I was like, oh, shit, that's right. Professional. You come.
The love for Black women. Y'all saw how she called Patrice. She was like, Patrice, get in here. Patrice, we taking a selfie.
And I'm like, she only knows your names too. She was like, I might mention Yaz or like Stephanie. And I was like,
you guys are cool too.
So Ty to slide in the DMs. And he's going to.
I'm sliding.
I'm sliding. Yo, they already are I'm assuming setting up a date. I bet you, bro. But Steph,
listen,
you're not alone.
Tune in for the album.
I will freestyle. I rap. Listen, put me on a verse. Put me out a verse.
Yeah, man.
All I ask.
Let me get 16 on that bit, dog. Let me get 16. Hey, all right. Minnie says he slid in the. All right.
Oh my god, he beat us to it.
Hey,
I apologize. Your DMs are going to be a trash fire after this show.
100%.
I apologize in advance. Our viewers have no chill.
That was her.
I'm just saying.
I don't think she quite understood what she got herself into. What Stephanie is apologizing for. When you're like, oh, feel free to message me, and then you're like, why the fuck?
y'all haven't seen Yvette Nicole Brown on Twitter.
You know what I mean?
Y'all need to see her on Twitter. She is whatever DMs we could throw at her, she could absolutely handle. Yvette Nicole Brown is no stranger to some social media shenanigans. So don't worry about her. She's gonna be good. Like,
I'm just glad that
I was just thrown about how like down to earth and grounded she was. You have this expectation of people that make it where they start looking down at other people, but like her energy from the time she came on the show to the time she left, I mean, her energy is still resonating with us, and just some of the things that she said resonated with me personally, just because that's how I am. Like when you say putting everybody else before you, like, and just laying out this groundwork for everybody else to blow and to be them, and to kind of succeed. That right there, when I heard that, I was just like, wow, our spirits touched for a moment. And we'll have to talk about it in the DM.
Before we even went live, she said, and Yaz was here, and I quote, please let your freak flag fly. And me and Yaz both was like,
be your authentic self. She was like,
I was waiting on that. I was waiting for her to be like, if they don't like who you are, fuck them. And fuck them. Yo, she even dropped a little swear word. Yo, bro, it was crazy, man. And the fact that her first love was my first love was dope as fuck too.
Right?
We both came into nerddom via Star Wars, albeit hers was episode 4 and mine was episode 6. It was still similar. I didn't know she grew up in Cleveland. I should have did my research. Steph, you're the researcher. You should have told us that. Your fault. But she also asked for a shirt, yo. She was like, I need that shirt. I need that money, Frankie.
Get it. Nah, but she was dope. She was such a dope individual and a dope human being, man. Like, just the energy, man. I'm telling you, like it's still resonating. Like you
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
like you said, and you put it absolutely right, Stephanie. I mean, I could have said it better. Like, just I still feel it. It's still, it's like it
don't
on
feel
me.
real. Yeah,
it's on me.
It's
so like,
surreal
thank you, Yvette, so much.
Thank you, Yvette. And she even gave us a shout out. So before we move on to Peacemaker, I just want to say I want to say this live on air with all of the folks on Twitch watching, and everybody on YouTube, Facebook, all that the reason why Yvette Nicole Brown happened is because of the collective that we have here. All right, because we as a unit in our united Blerdom are doing things together in sync. And the first thing was to come up with concepts for some sort of segment. And then Stephanie came in swinging, said, I got this thing I want to do where I can ask questions. And at first we was like, all right, who are you? But okay, sure, that's fine, whatever. And then at first I had to tell, I was like, all right, Steph, enough of the questions, all right? We get it. And then remember she had like 6 questions one show. I was like, hey.
Yeah,
you know, let us.
Steph came in like a bully. She came in like a bully, like you fucking nerds. Like you guys DC Marvel.
So then we're like, all right, we want Steph to, let's do the Stephanie Ray question of the day. Let's do Yaz's bitch of the week. You know what I'm saying? And then Steph asked this question. We chop it up. We post. We tag her. She reads. She shares it to her social media sites. And geeks up. As a matter of fact, I think I have the quote. I hope I'm not going outside. I hope this is not outside the. I hope this isn't too.
Don't be sharing the private messages. Just
okay. I wasn't. That's.
Steph was dropping photos of it.
Yeah.
I know.
Posing
on the bed.
Here goes Steph.
Stephanie's like, wait, I gotta hold up. Let's Jenkins.
Y'all stupid.
Duck lips.
Yes, I'm gonna go. I got too many clothes on. I'm just playing. Steph is loud, but the point is, like, all of this interaction is leading to these types. I mean, we have now had a member of the Black Lightning, as well as somebody who was in Loki on our show. We've had one of the tracksuit mafia members from Hawkeye on our show. We now have another member of the MCU, Yvette Nicole Brown, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. on our show. And we've had Zooman has been on here, and when in his movie was with Cat Williams, and so I mean, all I'm saying is, guys, us as a collective, this blerdness that we were told was meant to be kept inside because it's not as black or not Puerto Rican or not hip, not hot, not popular. Fuck that shit, bro. We hit $1 billion at the box office for Black Panther, and we are the ones that drove that shit with our dashikis. Right. So fuck the bullshit. Blerd is here to stay, and we coming for y'all other groups. I don't give a fuck what Yaz say. She always be trying to stop me from yo, I don't give a fuck. Yo, pull up, extraordinary nerd. Pull on up, Blerd Con. Pull up, bro. We ain't scared of y'all puss ass home. Why? We deep in this bitch, bro. Pull up. No, I'm just playing. We love everybody.
I was gonna say, he's not bringing the ops, y'all. Calm down.
If you're watching this,
we peaceful, but we aggressive in this bitch. We bullies.
That's it.
Nah.
Thank y'all for holding your shit together for 45 minutes. Potty mouths.
Yeah. Oh Lord. I just knew Yaz was gonna be like.
I should get an award. I didn't say one cuss word. And Yvette Nicole Brown, she cussed.
She did. I don't know. She was such a pleasure, man. She was really such a pleasure. But you know what, Vince? Just after this, it now takes away that fear that you have. Like, you know how we had this fear. Like, I don't know if she would even be interested. It takes that away. Like now. Yeah. Ooh, so we might jump in somebody else's inbox. You never know who.
You know who I want to slide in their DMs next.
So we might could get Loki. We might could get somebody on here. Somebody.
We've been watching a live action on Amazon Prime, and it's actually a role-playing podcast.
Right.
if we reach out, we never know. We can actually have the actors on there. They're super chill. They interact with their Patreon, you know, with their fans and stuff like that. So I'm not lying. I literally talked to my my chiropractor who got us on to watching this, and he was like, "Bro, y'all should slide in their DMs, like real, like you guys are legit. You should totally
Maybe
do
we
it."
get an out of bio next.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
Stephanie, out of bio.
I like that.
Tasty.
Out of bio.
Listen, I got plans to try and have a conversation with Daniel Brooks. I'm trying.
Speaking of out of bio, how you like that, Tyrone?
It's a classic Vince Taylor segue. Brought to you by Segway.
Speaking of out of bio, this week on Peacemaker, out of bio did actually apologize for setting up Peacemaker. She apologizes. She also, it was revealed that not only she was Amanda Waller's daughter, but that Mern knew about it already.
She was voiced by Yvette Nicole Brown in the cartoon. Just putting that out there. Another tie.
Oh,
she was Principal Waller in a DC.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Not in Peacemaker, but like.
Nah, no, I know what you mean. I didn't know that though. What animated series was that?
It was a DC. She was the principal. It was like a DC like teen.
I'm animated right now. I got you.
Yeah, check it out. Let's know.
I'm blanking on the name,
but yeah, man, this was. I think that, and I didn't put all the spoilers in here, not because I didn't want to, just because I didn't have time. But if I could say, like, this particular episode, there was a few moments that I got a little sentimental. I'm gonna keep it 100. When I saw, like, because I mean, we're spoiling, I guess. For me, and maybe Tyrone and maybe even Talim, I don't know. For me, the dynamic between a father and a son is sacred, right? Whether he's in your life or if he's not, right? There's this weird, that's my dad, you know what I'm saying? Whether he's around, there's this weird aura. So this particular show, there was a very intense scene between him and his pops. And I mean, I damn near welled up. I ain't gonna lie. Like
I cried.
Yeah, bro.
I'm gonna put it out there.
It was tough to watch for me, man, because I particularly know. All right, I'm gonna put this out there, and I know I'm on live, and my pops is on Facebook too, and he says he watches every now and then. But oh man, I don't even know if I want to put him out there like this. But I felt bullied by my pops as a kid about this very stuff that we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's the one that introduced me to it, he was like, "All right, that's enough." You know what I'm saying? He's like, "All right, I get it. You like it, but I didn't mean for you to like OD on it." And I was like, "But dude, this freaking lightsaber, this Spider-Man." He's like, "All right, can you stand up, please? Why are you crouching like a spider? You're not a spider." You know what I'm saying? Like it took off to a point where I think he was like, "All right, I think I have made my son a little too obsessed. Let's put him in sports and get him out of this stuff." You know what I'm saying? And I had to kind of like put that aspect of me back in the closet. So I mean, that's why I think I mean, even though I'm not even though me and my wife are happily married and I'm a happily heterosexual, that's why I think I do identify, I empathize with the plight of those of same love, because to have to withhold, to have to like hide an authentic part of yourself that you love is like a very traumatic experience. So I mean, fellas, am I the only one that felt that? Like when this dude was faced with that decision, when his pops basically called him a pussy, you know what I'm saying, and was like in his face. And he was like, "Yo, bro, I mean, that was some hard ass shit for me to watch as a son, So, Ty, how did it? I see that it affected you too, bro. Like, just what went through your head, yo?
Nah, it's so crazy that you gave the scenario of your father, because like I look, you can see my eyes is watering right now. I unfortunately lost my father, at a very young age, 3 years old. So my mother had to play the role of father and mother, and her way of raising me was, because I don't have a man, for my son to identify with, I have to be much tougher on him than probably, a mother would normally have to be, because that would be the responsibility of the father. Right. So I totally identified with this because, And I find myself, and that's why it's choking me up a little bit, because,
Right,
woo,
yeah,
because
man.
I find myself sometimes doing
Yeah,
that to
man.
my son. Oh, woo, fuck. I got, excuse me. But it's not intentional, you know. It's just you want them to be strong, and it's like as because that's how my mom put it on me. That's the way it resonated, and so that's the way that I was taught. And I catch myself sometimes like having to step back away from it, you know. And
Man.
whew, yeah, it's tough. It's tough raising kids. Yeah, man, give me that.
I got you, bro.
But thank you. But yeah, it does. It gets tough, man. Raising children in general, and raising a young man, you know, knowing that he's going to be subjected to bullying and subjected to all of these different things that life will present to him, and you want to make sure that that they're going to be okay. And you know, being that I was raised that way, I find myself being on him all the time when he's doing stuff like, you know,
Right.
that I should allow him to do because he's a child.
Right.
But at some point I'm like, yo, stop all of that whining, stop all of that crying, stop. Yo, I don't necessarily curse at him and call him a pussy or anything like that.
Right.
You know, even though my mom might have used some choice words
Yeah.
when I was coming up. But you know, and mom, if you watching, I love you, and I thank you for everything that you did for me, because it made me who I am, and I'm thankful for that. But when he shot his pops and then broke down,
Yeah, man.
was,
That fucked me up, bro.
Yeah, it was like I felt him, because
Yeah,
I was like, yo, he didn't want to kill his dad.
right.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to shoot his dad. Even when he was punching him, he didn't want to do that to him.
Right.
But you
Right.
like pushed me and you kept on prying.
Right.
You made me kill my brother. I have to deal with that. We've seen this dynamic that he's been going, this conflict that he's been going through within himself. And you start to really love Peacemaker. You're like,
yeah, man,
dude, I understand. Like, that's tough. Like, yo, and shout outs to you, Stephanie, for calling it, because you called it exactly how it happened. You said, you know, somebody, you know, he probably punched him in his nose, and his bone went through his brain and killed him. That's exactly what happened. So, you know, like, to see that, you know, on screen, and know that there's not just me, but so many Black kids who are out here, boys, girls, that are in single parent households where the mother has to take on the responsibility of the father, or these fathers didn't have a father to raise them, so they don't know how to father. So like they're just doing everything on the whim and doing everything on the fly. Yo, like, listen, this whole episode, like, really touched me, and I didn't even realize that, you know, like, I'm still dealing with those things that I dealt with as a child, and still have some growing and building to do.
Yo, man. Yo, well, you know, it ain't nothing but love here, man. And I mean, I feel you 100%, bro. There's something about the weight of your father's words, or lack thereof, that have an impact on your life that you have no control over. You have no control over it, right? Like, Ty didn't want to break down right now, man, but he can't. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, he can't help it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's this thing, Tyrone, that, you know, fathers and sons, I don't know what the fuck it is, bro, but there's an internal bond that's unlike any other. You know what I'm saying? And I know you've spoken about this too, bro. I mean,
Oh, we lost Vince for a second. I see where you're going with. So yeah, so I'll go in there. My dad and I have a very different relationship. It's a volatile one, and you know, there's a lot of room for improvement there. But what it comes down to is a lot of the stuff that y'all are talking about, and it's generational trauma, and a lot of the stuff that affected our childhoods affected their childhoods because they didn't know the type of things that we know now about, the importance of mental health, how important it is to be supportive of somebody, and not just pass your shit down to them. So it's one of the things that Peacemaker spoke to was that generational trauma. The thing that Ty's speaking to just now is that generational trauma, how, but at least in Ty's situation, he has the wherewithal to notice in a moment that, oh shit, like here I am, doing these things that affected me in such a way. So I'm going to step back and I'm going to try to correct my behavior so that, when it comes time for my son to raise his sons, then it's going to be, it won't be as painful at times. And it'll be something that will probably even, make everybody bond better and make everybody just healthier together. So it's generational trauma it needs to be healed, especially in the Black community. Generational trauma and racism are family. You know what I mean? Like that shit is no joke. It affects us in ways that we don't know until we're having these conversations, and until something hits you in such a way where you're like, I don't even know what I'm feeling right now. So these kinds of conversations, the kind of art that James Gunn put out there that directly deals with generational trauma is stuff that we should absolutely be paying attention to and talking about, because we can be the first generation to stop that pattern. We can be that generation. So I think we should be.
Cool, man. Yeah, man. And I know you've brought up stuff about your pops. It's the weirdest thing. Steph, as somebody that was a psych major, man, I mean, is there anything to that? Are we touching on anything here? Do they teach in psych classes like the developmental relationships between father-son or parents and sons specifically, and how it impacts one's mental health growing up?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's a reason that every cartoon, every parody about going to therapy starts with the therapist saying, "So tell me about your father," and all the theories of, Freudian concepts and how your upbringing impacts you, attachment style, the development, the relationships that you have as an adult are based in how you were loved or not loved as a child. If you're avoidant, if you're afraid of commitment, if you're anxious, if you lean in and are constantly asking for attention. So all of that comes from childhood. So of course, Peacemaker is wildly messed up because his upbringing was absolutely nuts. So yeah, that all tracks hard. I think also, thank you for the credit, Bad Ty. I think it might have been Yaz though who talked about getting punched in the face and your nose and your
shit,
it was me. I didn't want to say anything, but yeah, it totally was me because I work for a chiropractor. So.
I didn't want to say anything.
Trauma is my life. You know what I mean? Like all that. That's my life. Personal injury that's what I treat for a living. So yeah.
Yo, what's up, Bad Ty Jr.?
Right?
Hey, yo, if that man ever give you any problems, man, I'm gonna give you a number of this dude named Peacemaker, man. He'll kill no matter how many adults and kids it take to get peace. All right, yo, I'm just playing, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, all right. Let me leave him alone. I don't think he can hear me.
I hope
not. All right, well, listen, murder anybody for you.
Yeah, right. No murder. All right, not today. But yeah, man, this episode touched on that. There was a couple other things as well. Like I thought it was hilarious that Vigilante wanted to kill the folks, and then he was like, "But don't duct tape them too tight, though." You know what I'm saying? It speaks to his psychosomatic self. But honestly, go ahead, Yas. Go ahead.
Also say that, and like also the point at the end when after Peacemaker kills his father, he didn't even know how to comfort. He was just like. That's like seriously, Stephanie, no lie, Austin was like, yo, this is why Stephanie was like textbook psycho, oh my god. It was great, dude.
Yeah, man, great episode, man. I mean, this show keeps giving in ways that I didn't expect it to. Who would have thought that a overgrown block of muscle like freaking John Cena would get me, Ty, and Tyrone to just talk about our fathers. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. So good on you, John. Good on you. Damn it, what's his name again? James Gunn. And good on you, Peacemaker. What's up, Ty?
Look, I want to commend John Cena on his acting.
Yes.
Yo, who would have thought we would be sitting here talking about him being able to pull that off? Like the first scene, him in the mirror crying. I felt it.
Yeah.
When he went down to his knees and started crying. Genuine feeling and emotion. John.
Yeah.
Look, we might be talking about you for some type of award for your acting.
Yeah, right now, he's holding it down for DC. Period.
Man.
I mean, him and Superman. Pretty much it.
Can we also talk about how he got that selfie with the hugging eagle? Oh my God, we got to see a man hug an eagle twice, bro. Like, what? That was so cool.
Well, I definitely want to shout out just James Gunn, like, again, John Cena, but like what you can do when something's written well and directed well and cast well. Like, it's just, Peacemaker's so good. It's so good from beginning to end, and it's very much, it's not an accident, it's not just a fluke. Like, it's good because they really like, they thought through all this stuff. Like, none of this stuff is an accident. The stuff that we're feeling, the stuff that we're talking about, this was the intention. You know, this wasn't just some like happy side effect. Like, they were going to deal with these kinds of things, and they did it beautifully. And, you know, in moments that can make us laugh, like, you know, this very touching moment in the vet's office where he's like praying, you know, for Eagly's life. Like, it was touching and silly at the same time. And then you get this, you know, the landing moment, the punchline moment, which was just perfect. So yeah, I spend a lot of time bitching about shows sometimes. You know, it's okay. We know me, but like this show's great. They're killing it.
Word. Yeah, man. DC's definitely been given a gift with this. We got to start wrapping this up. Before we go, I just wanted to drop a quick, by the way, Peacemaker still has more episodes, so thank God we can keep talking about this. And then we can now, since Boba Fett's over, talk maybe a little more Walking Dead. Vox Machina and Raised by Wolves, which I am still obsessed.
What the fuck?
I'm obsessed.
You caught up on Raised by Wolves?
Well, I was gonna text you guys, and
You
I was like, "What the fuck you have me watching, bro?"
Yes. Yes, bro. Yes. Look, there's no show in the world like Raised by Wolves, bro. It is a whole mind fuck. The atheists versus the soul and all of them. It is crazy. So let's talk about it because I got to wrap up. We got to end in less than 2 hours to replay the show. But I do want to give this quick tidbit before we go. I didn't even get to mention this whole bullshit. There was a whole. I don't even get me started about how I got all woke up for Cad and all right. That's a whole decision. This week it was released that.
Yeah.
What? You what?
Is Cad dead?
That's what it looks like, but we don't know what species he is. So, I mean, he looked like he got stabbed in the heart, but we don't know where his heart is. You know what I'm saying? So, as far as we know,
that blinking on his chest? What was that blinking on his chest then?
Yeah, well, he needs a device to survive. I don't know all of Cad Bane lore, but we can talk about it in a minute. I got to wrap this shit up, though. Otherwise, we'll be able to read the show. All right, so real quick, I just wanted to touch on this. As y'all know, as Yaz told us a few weeks ago, that Lord of the Rings is going to be having a series on Amazon Prime. They recently released some some pictures of some of the characters, and amongst the characters are these two elves or Lord of the Rings characters. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I posted this on our page, and if you go to these pictures that I posted, just go under the comments and you will see like how racism is amok when it comes to inclusion. And if you want to be triggered, go check that out right now and see what they're saying. It is completely obscene. It's one thing to complain, but that it doesn't match the movies. It's another thing to start talking about now y'all doing Lord of the Rings and making all these racist flyers and a bunch of crazy stuff. So I just want to make sure that if anybody out there is doubting how racism, if it's alive or not, go to our page right now on Facebook and look at this post and go underneath. Like, you'll see all of these pictures right here, the ones with the ivory folks. There's damn near no comments, but there are thousands of comments for the or at least over 1,000, I could say, for the black elves and for the black characters. And I think that that's sad. I'm not going to even touch too much on it because we've already had such a good show. I want to end on a higher note. But since we are, and we're looking forward to that. But since we are wrapping up, man, I just want to once again shout out Phyllis Jenkins, man. Oh my God, give us some applause. We had a phenomenal time with you, and we hope you will join us again if you don't mind in the future. And thank you once again for getting up so early in the day, because you know it's 6 o'clock on the West Coast. And she was like, "Look, bro, that's 6 o'clock on the West Coast." I mean, I was like, "Yes." And she was like, "It's all good. We're gonna make it happen." So thank you, Yvette, and thank you, Yvette, also for saying what we say on this show, which is be your authentic self. Because if you ain't being yourself, then you being fake, right? And ain't nothing cool about that. And in all things, if you is a geek, just like the homie Yvette says, even though she says freak, I'm gonna tell y'all to let that geek flag fly. Check out the replay, and we'll see y'all next week.
Fighter 2, I just really hate Zangief, only Ken and Ra. You, I find it hard to be Blanca, keep a wee ninja hanging, and our uncle album banging. If you negative in energy, then stay out the vicinity of, yeah, them niggas over there, yeah.